but they have more than $40 million in duty-free.
Right.
So literally, we have companies, not one, not two, that are operating in Liberia, that if you do the math, we are paying them to take away our resources. But yet, you want to save money, you don't target that. Lawmakers, we're making almost $8 to $9 million. I mean, $9,000. We're making approximately $150,000 annually. Yet, we have duty-free.
Right.
We deprive the people of Liberia of money that could fix the roads.
Right.
We have duty-free on vehicles. We have duty-free on transportation. We have duty-free on gasoline. But you
got all those duty-free?
Yes. You, Clarence, the lay Liberian person that get on the street every day, you go and vote for these people. You have nothing.
Okay, let me come straight to you, Mr.
No, but
Freeman.
just to add to what he said,
Yeah.
right? Let's face it. You see the argument is demonize us in favor of our people. Now, if you say you want to reduce costs, you want to increase the budget collection, the question we are asking is, the money you're collecting, what are you doing with it? When President Boyka and these people went to Japan, right? You're talking about 40, it's not 40. You know how many members of culture troop to carry different, you're talking about more than 150 people.
No, they have two different events. I'm sure the
So
export
all of those
paid for by government.
the culture troop and thing.
All of them were
But it was paid for by government.
No, I'm not sure. I think Judy Andy made it clear at Mika
Bossman.
that the expo, the culture troop and thing was funded by the organizers.
Okay, so all of the other aspects of it, that's public money. Let's look at it. If you go in President Boyka yard and go into President Kun yard, each of those cars they have about 8 of those cars parking. Every time they use 2 of them. You want to cut costs? That's the way to cut costs. You want to cut costs? What's about foreign travel? Cut costs on foreign travel. What's about the wastage in government? What's about the way we procure? This thing where every ministry and agency does her own procurement, so we don't do bulk purchasing like we used to do. That's how you cut costs. You don't come to a private investment and say, cut costs in the name of the people. If you want to do that, remove GST off petroleum. If you want to do that, remove all of the layers of costs. Then let the price of petroleum drop to $3 a gallon, then we all happy. Then it will increase investment. But you come to us that have invested in the economy, you punish us and you say, because now you are making a lot of noise, you want to be president, you own the airwaves, then this is it. Just yesterday, some government people send people to my factory that I'm investing in to take picture to come out with those things. These are the
to do what? To take picture to do what?
To take picture to show that, you know, all these kinds of things. These are the kinds of penalties we endure because we invest in our own economy. If you don't invest, you damn. If you invest, you damn.
But
So
Mr. Freeman, what's wrong with a regulator? What's wrong with an institution set up by the government by law to look at one sector and regulate it in a form and manner that is a payback for the country to say, wait a minute, let's look at storage. You've been raising too much. Now there are competing priorities in the country. We gotta look, we gotta call foreign travel, we gotta do that, but we gotta go into the private sector. Look, 35 cents per gallon, no. Let's reduce it. Let's get additional money to build the roads to do our things.
I'll take that. OKfm charges different from Banner FM. That's all.
I think so too.
That's it. OKfm charges different from what's the people name? There's the other radio station where, you know, in my area there. What's the name?
Rare Power.
Scarp. What? Freedom Power.
Rare Power.
Rare Power. Your charges are different because of your cost factor where you located. It is not for government to regulate that. Here's what government can do. Government can say LPRC storages cost 5 cents or 10 cents, or it's for free. The individual importer will decide where he wants to take his petroleum product. Let it be the decision of the individual tank constructor, not for government. If government truly wants to reduce costs, then what government can do? Remove GST off petroleum. Remove all of these layers. The government makes about almost $120 something million annually just off petroleum products, doing nothing about 90 cents. What government can do, reduce that to 5 cents. That's the way you do it. But you don't come to a private investment. So as a result, tomorrow, Mr. Bility ends up in jail. What happens? He cannot pay the banks. He cannot pay foreign investors. Then the next thing, Liberian people can't do business. But in the same vein, the same people that are trying to cut costs, increase costs on driver's license. They increase costs on license plate by taking it from a Liberian and giving it to a foreigner. That's how we operate. That's why I was on your show. Nigerian people eat Nigerian people money. Ghanaians have 70% of the economy. In Liberia, when we try to invest, then we are the demons. We must stop that.
Musa, what about this? What do you say to people who also think that at this point, Simeon, Freeman, and Musa Bility are the guys who will be projecting, putting Liberians under the pretense that, look, the government is after private businesses, when these very Liberian business people have been exploiting their people. Sometimes you create artificial scarcity on the market, to exploit situation, you increase the price of basic commodity. At that point, you're not there for your people?
So the two things I want to say. One, for over 7 years, I'm in the business of storage, so I don't have control over what product in the business. But Clarence, you have an obligation as a journalist to look at the point we are making for the sake of the Liberian people. If the intention of the government is to save money, I just told you that the aggregate collectible tax on petroleum that is imported in Liberia is over $150 million.
You sure?
Yes, fact. And I've given the fact to you. Go and counter check it. The money that the LRA collects from that $150 million is under $60 million.
Why?
Because all of the major companies that are here to exploit our natural resources that give us less than $20-25 million each, all of them receive more than $20, $30, $40 million in duty free. The government of Liberia, Republic of Liberia, consume more than $30 million worth of duty free annually. The legislature consume over $1 million worth of duty free monthly. You want to talk about cutting costs? Those are people that are receiving government money. You want to save $15 million from Freeman, but you are throwing away over 90 million United States dollars. I want you to look at that fact. You need to do this for the sake of Liberia. Don't take the information I give you for what it is. Go to NPA. Go to APM terminal. Don't go to anybody else. Find out how many vessels arrive in Liberia with petroleum product. I'm telling you now, the average monthly importation of petroleum in Liberia is around 30 to 35,000 metric tons. If you take that and times it by 12 and take the 90 cents that the government of Liberia is supposed to collect and take the royalty LPRC is collecting from the private company and take the 35 cents that LPRC is collecting as a government company, it's over $150 million.
Do you support any call?
So why don't we look into that?
Do you support any call for the duty free to be scraped out of you lawmakers?
I'm a lawmaker. I just told you that. I just brought it to you. I brought you the detail. I'm telling you that these people are not intending to save money.
I'm asking whether you will support any such call.
100%. Otherwise, I would not be here. I would not give you the information. I gave it to you. It is public knowledge. If you want to save money, let they say the president of Liberia rides 4 vehicles. The vice president of Liberia rides 4 vehicles, 2 at a time. No president in the history of this country has done that.
Let me bring you one example.
That is cost.
Let me bring you one
That's
example.
Cost.
Let me bring you one.
Just to add to what he said, you can bring your example.
No, I want to bring you an example for something I've been following from Ghana.
Right.
And sometimes when a government means well for its people, I'm not sitting as a government spokesperson. I'm just being rational this morning.
Right.
The government will go and look in every sector. For example, there's a big argument now between quote-unquote DXTV Ghana and the government. And I will listen to the information minister, Minister of Information Technology, George, I just forget his last name. Yeah. They have been on this back-to-back.
George Neti
thinks that, look, the people are exploiting Ghanaians. what people paying for the different DSTV services in Nigeria, and he even made reference to Liberia, that Liberia at some point is paying less than what Ghanaians are paying. And so he said if the people did not reduce the fee, he will close the business up, and I think they're having a negotiation. Do you want to think that he's after the private sector, or he's operating in the interest of the people?
So here's the thing. You have to set the perimeters. Let's understand what the mandate of that minister is in Ghana, what authority he has, and also is the business case. He said a time, September 6th. Was DSTV shut down? No. What goes into costing of the business? Did he sit down and look at that? No. So it's one thing for a public official to come and say, oh, the cost is too high. Let's take Liberia that you talked about. People talk about that. We, from consolidators, subsidize DSTV. That's why your entry level for DSTV in the whole of Africa is cheapest in Liberia, $15, $20. It's subsidized. One decoder at site costs you about $20, $22. One dish costs you whatever. So learner costs you a lot more, but you sell it for that price. Even if you went on the market to buy one satellite dish, you're never going to find it for $15. So what am I saying to you? It is subsidized in order to drive growth, and businesses do that. But from a public perspective, if you come in from that perspective, then you're not understanding. You engage in that you get engaging in a negative step. But going specifically to your issue, that government wants to engage in order to reduce costs, that's what we're saying. Yes, it is the government's responsibility to reduce prices for its people, but we're saying the way to reduce price is to reduce your cost of living. So if I, as an individual, I make $5,000 a month, right? But I have, my lifestyle is such that every day I have to order food from expensive hotels, right? Because I like certain kind of food. It comes. So my entire operating cost as an individual is probably $4 or $5. If I want to cut costs, then this is the way to cut costs. Government has a lot of dormant institutions that are non-functioning. You want to cut costs, you can review that. Government itself in terms of the expenses. You know, somebody having wedding in Ghana, president goes there. This other minister, this place. Do you know what government traveling expense is? It's massive. So all of these things, you don't cut it. But then you come to the private investor. And you know the message you're sending? This ability has the name on the property, but he's not the only investor in that. Like you hear, you hear Dangote, he's not the only investor. It is his name on it. So all of these investors from the outside that have invested because of the price, you driving them,
including the banks.
Exactly, you driving them away. Let the issue of pricing for that private infrastructure be determined by market forces. You can now come as a government. Look what has happened. The mockery. They say, "Oh, price of rice will be this." Is the price of rice actually that with a rate infrastructure? Our central bank say, oh, they came out with monetary policy. What monetary policy? Are you buying US dollar? If you're buying it, we'll see it because you're subsidized. All that's happening is a cartel of people that they're not going after. Every year, market, every year from September to January, the rate drops. Then February, it jumps up. Is this central bank intervention? No. What we're saying, let market forces determine some of these things. So if I have a storage and I want to rent the storage for 75 cents, it's up to me. Mr. Jackson, if I want to appear on OK, I'll pay OK money. If I don't want to appear on OK, if I think I want the crowd at what? Star Power, I will go there. Or Banner, I will go there. Or some of the other guys, I will go there. So it depends on where you are. Your cost structure here are different. And the people you hire in terms of your size is different. So all of these things affect cost. It's not for that government to determine that. Now, let's look at another aspect. When the LPRC determine high cost. Why? Because now LPRC is now an importer of petroleum. So because she's an importer, she has an alternative income flow.
Right.
It is
by law.
By law.
Yeah.
But because now you have an alternative flow of income, doesn't mean you saddle investment in the sector. What you can do is to open up the sector and say, okay, government will build more storages and the cost of storage will be 2 cents or will be 1 cent. That's government's choice. But when you start to hit your own citizens that are not even that have very limited investment in the country, what message are we sending to ourselves? You know, as I drive the street every day, I was just on the phone with one of my cousins this morning. When you drive the streets of Cinco, all owned by Lebanese, owned by foreigners. How many Liberians mean there is Uboti has a building over there? Moda has a building on the main street, maybe about 3 other people on the main street in Cinco. is dominated by foreigners. That's not a discussion for us. When has this government in the last 2 years sat down and had a meeting with the business community and said, how can we help you?
And that is my point, Freeman. Bility, you people abuse an opportunity, if I would say it this way. Yesterday, I was reading the agreement between you and LPRC, and I was talking about how this whole thing came about. And then I got to a point in the Senate committee's report, and I realized, according to that report, that the Senate invited people like you, meaning all of you in that sector for public hearing. You did not go there.
So, first, I just want to piggyback on what Freeman was saying. The thing LPRC did not result into any decrease in price.
Right. The pump price have not changed.
The rating, it did not change because, you know what? They reduced it by 33 cents and increased cost by 33 cents.
Right.
And make it payable to themselves.
Say that again.
The government of Liberia reduced storage by 33 cents and increased costs by 33 cents.
Cost of what?
The same thing. Other charges.
The same thing. Payable by we, the private people, and payable to LPRC. Is that what do I mean? They say we should pay 20.
Is that true? Maybe
But read the document. I want you to read the document.
Okay.
9 cents to LRA,
Yes.
2 cents to LRA, 21 cents to LPRC.
The
Do
Kima
your
was
math.
charges.
Do your math.
The Kima was, let me read the schedule of charges for
And
you.
then additional 3 cents as royalty to LPRC. So 24 cents to LPRC and 11 cents to the government. How much is that?
How was it in the past? How has it been done? What was it
In the past, it was 90 cents to the government of Liberia. Okay. And as private terminal operator, any fuel that leave our terminal, we pay 90 cents to the government of Liberia. We pay 3 cents to LPRC. And what stays with us is 33 cents, which pay for our insurance, we pay for our evaporation. Any loss that we go through, we have to pay. Any number of products, which pays for maintenance, which pays for repayment of bank loan, which pay for everything on that. And secondly, the turnover in our terminal is not the LPRC. We receive product only when LPRC is filled. There is no time where LPRC has capacity and we receive product. So if you take all of that into consideration, I want the people of Liberia to know that the government of Liberia did not reduce petroleum price by 1 cent. They increase it by the same amount. They reduce it. So they reduce the storage so that we don't get money, but then everything went back to the government. 11 cents to LRA, 24 cents to LPRC.
To the government for the sake
it's written. I want you to check it and read it.
I'm not
For the Liberian people, I want you to check and read what I'm just telling you so that the people can hear it. I beg you.
Did you send that to me?
Yes. If you don't have it, I'll send it again to you.
So there is something else we want to read.
And I will call the MD of the.
So there is something else we want to read.
Yeah, please.
These are the layers. Storage fees.
Musa, please send us
storage fees. All terminals, 5 cents. Right? Road fund, 30 cents. Then support to counties road equipment, the new equipment they're buying. Now you have to pay 9 cents.
You sent something?
So 9 cents. I'm reading it for you now.
Yeah.
So I will just take a picture and send it. So 9 cents. Then you have GOL social program. Wherever the social program is, maybe like the government official raping the people and not going to jail, 2 cents.
No, that one is an allegation. It hasn't been heard by a court.
Fair enough. So inspectorate and maintenance fee. These fees weren't there before, 6 cents. So you notice that inspectorate and maintenance fee for LPRC is 6 cents. It's even more than the investor in the storage. You spend millions of dollars to build the storage.
So I come here and say, so it's petroleum pricing structure agreement, right? I think I read it one before. Storage fee.
Yes.
All terminals. 0.05.
Yes.
Road fund.
Government. 30 cents.
0.30 cents.
Government.
Support to county road.
Government.
9 cents.
Government.
GOL special program. 2 cents.
Government.
Inspectorate and maintenance fee.
Government.
6 cents. Vessel discharge fee.
Government.
8 cents. Testing handling fees.
Government.
7 cents. That's retailers margin. 20 cents. Who do you want for?
This is for the gas sellers, the people who sell in the
Okay,
gas station.
distributors margin 0.5, 5 cents.
Yes.
So you see, Mr.
You know why? You know why the distributor margin gone up? Because FPRC is not in the business,
Yes.
and whoever they are doing the business with,
Right.
they will share profit with those people. That's why it's gone up. So you see, when the people of Liberia read this story,
Right.
these guys never reduced anything.
No.
They
And they went up.
reduced storage by 34 cents and took 34 cents away.
Right.
Hey, Clarence, I want you to tell Liberian people because that's what I gave you.
Nobody I read it.
Yeah. So what is the reduction? What is the reduction? The vessel discharge, the vessel, all these operations for the last 50 years, FPRC been doing it.
Okay, so let me hold the both of you there small.
Just to pick it down a little bit.
No, sir, Mr. Freeman. I have the managing director of LPRC,
Go ahead.
Mr. Amos Stewart.
Why Emo putting his saying this thing?
Because he's the head. Because he's the head of
Let him
LPRC.
talk.
How you say the man putting says that?
Let him talk.
Mr.
They
Amos
just give me
Stewart, good morning.
instruction.
I'm hosting Mr. Musa, Bility, and Mr. Simeon Freeman, two Liberian businessmen. They are saying you did not reduce the fee of anything. You took away 32 cents. But you managed
Now
to
we are saying it's there.
you managed to redistribute the money. You got storage fee, road funds, support to counties, GOL social program, incorporate that inspectorate maintenance, all the other fees. So they say you took it from them, but you gave it to yourself. Is that true? Okay.
So now why you call?
Then why you call? But that's why it is.
Okay, so in essence, the agreement with you and Bility is that he would have been an importer and not use his storage for commercial purpose. I have the agreement, just that because of time, I'm not being able to read all.
So read the provisions in that agreement and come back and tell me whether the adjustments we did in the interest of the Liberian people, where the government is going to raise it in excess of 17 million United States dollars to support county road equipment and other social programs.
Amos, is there any law that's supposed to back the LPRC and prevent Bility from using his storage to get money?
So let me say this here. The provisions of the agreement between Mr. Bility and Freeman, I don't like to keep calling his name, between Freeman
No, but that's the fact. Go ahead. Call my name. That's what it's about.
You know, that facility, the Siemens facility is going to be used to store his products to sell on the Liberian market. However, in the event where maybe another imported product is supposed to be stored there, it has to meet the express approval of WRC. And of course, over time, we've been collaborating very well on that. But the real message to the Liberian
But to Amos, if you've been collaborating on that very well, how did you get to the stage that you will strip him of that and you've been collaborating very well? Oh, the network. Okay. Thank you, Amos. Thank you, Amos.
So let me just
yes,
do what
Mr. Toy is not hiding anything. So yeah, we took this money.
Let me just deal with that.
We're directing into government program.
Let me just deal with this, right?
Exactly.
He argued that the recommendation came from the Senate and the implementer. Mr. Bility have said the senators, and we all know that senators and representatives enjoy duty-free privileges. The duty-free privileges deprive government of access to revenue. When you well paid, you can have access to that as well. In the interest of reducing costs, let me hear the senators and representatives that came out with that same structure come out tomorrow and wipe out all duty-free privileges for themselves. Secondly, it's about this, Mr. Jackson. Let's say this billing is for OKfm, right? OKfm decides to leave from here and move to another studio, right? Then OKfm decides to rent this place for $500 a month. Government come and say, no, rent within Central Town is 50 cents or it's $50. You can't rent this building. What he's saying, to repurpose an investment is not an option of a business because he signed an agreement to import his own product. So the very LPRC that is there is now importing products, and prior to importing products, they were leasing terminals. They don't have a problem with that. But now that the terminal is there, is built, a private investor decides, I can use my terminal this way once it is not illegal. There is a provision, which of course he alluded to. Anytime you want to do that, you must write the LPRC for LPRC to give you permission. Because we have limited storage in the country. And it's also in agreement. And they have been writing. What we're saying, I want to deal with the principal argument. Because this whole thing of leaning on their cost is not it. He is saying, which is the argument of government, we want to reduce costs for the Liberian people. What is the price of petroleum now? Has it reduced at the pump? No. The second question is, where are the areas of waste? Have we reduced foreign travel? No. What type of business support services have we provided? You dealt with the issue of public hearing that the Senate invited people, right? And people didn't show up. So when you're doing public hearing, there are many types of people you invite. It's not just the operators in the sectors, the financiers of the sector, right? And you also get data and information. The senators could have, instead of being obese, they could have gone out and getting information. How much to build a storage terminal? How long?
And you think that they didn't do that?
I don't know, because if they did, they won't come out to this. At 5 cents, how long do you think it would take to amortize an investment in a thing? How long do you think it's going to take? So in essence, you are actually discouraging investment, basically because it's Liberian. Now here's the thing. I was here the other day, I was complaining. This thing called medtech, when you bring in petroleum or whatever product, it's so much delay. You are just saying people bring in product, it's so expensive. Do you know at the port, now you have to pay APN terminals at the port. You have to pay the port authority. Prior to that, we're not doing that. We're paying one person at the port. Today, you have to pay a container tracking number. All of those things, what do you think in the fair cost? And here's the thing. I had a case. I brought in about 15 containers. Let me tell you what happened. Those containers lasted 2 weeks in the port because Netec had a problem. And after we had to go and clear it, we had to pay for storage, even though it was their problem. The shipping company and the port and the what do people name, the APN terminal say it was not their problem. We suffer. Who bear that cost? It came to us because we wanted low price. All these layers hurt the people of Liberia. So we say, if you want to help the people, take away these layers and reduce taxation on these products, and it's going to change the dynamics. But every time, you have to punish us.
It seems
So let me give a few answers to Amos. And I've observed something in all of this. The absence of the Ministry of Commerce.
The absence of the
Ministry of Commerce.
Right.
By law, Amos and the FPRC and these crooked senators should not be making laws for Liberia.
Is that how you call them? They
are crooked.
They are your colleagues.
They
are your colleagues. They are your colleagues.
Yes, I'm telling you now, that's who they are. At the end of the day, what they have done, the Ministry of Commerce is not involved here, and by law, that's the ministry that's supposed to set.
The Senate, in its communication, said the Ministry of Commerce was
another anomaly. No financial instrument should emanate from the Senate.
But remember, this is not a law.
A law, that instrument. First of all, the Senate should not serve as advisor to the president.
Right.
Let me make that clear.
Right.
So there are a lot of anomalies, and that's one of them. The other one is,
you think the Senate is an advisor? There is a.
That's what Amos just said. That there is a advice. The recommendation is an advice.
No, there is a coordination mechanism as provided.
That's not what our law says. That's not what our law says.
The three branches of government.
The legislature cannot be a legislature unless it is the House and the Senate.
Right.
One of them cannot represent the legislature.
Okay,
by law.
Mister.
No. Let me answer.
Yeah,
the other thing is, Amos also said that the 20 cent and the 14 cent I should take a part of what. I can't blame him there because he does not have that knowledge. That business is intended for Liberians that don't have capacity like me.
Yeah,
distributor. What Amos is literally asking me to do, I guess that's what FPRC is going to do now.
Right.
They're going to chop off these Liberians that are distributing.
Right.
They are going to chop off these Liberians that are importing because that industry is going to be decimated by this action, and they're not going to exist because FPRC now, by virtue of his explanation now, FPRC is going for the 14 cents and the 20 cents. And that's what he's asking me to do. No, I can't do that. I'm a Liberian, I got heart, and I'm able to do certain aspect of the petroleum business. I will leave the rest to other Liberians.
Mr. Musa Bility, the OK
So
money rush is what
I'm a successful man.
Mr. Smith,
what I do now, I wash my car to my house. Because I have money, I wash my car to my house. I don't take it to the car washing bay. The car washing bay does. Then I say, oh, the car washing bay doesn't know.
That's why he's asking.
So let's take some calls right here. 0777 700-995. I'm told that Truth FM is relaying. Yes, Truth FM is relaying this edition of the show. My colleague O'Neill Roberts could not be here. Let's take the call right here. Let me take this lawyer. He will call his own name. Good morning, sir. Yeah, Anthony Brisbane, let's hear you.
I think it's a wonderful conversation. Let me give full disclosure so you don't say, oh, let me get this.
Even you give it, I will give it. You are consultant. You are a consultant at LPRC.
But I don't call it a capacity as a consultant. I call as a Nigerian lawyer who wants to help the conversation.
Okay. Except people will say you have a side, but let's hear your perspective.
That's why I did this.
Conflict of interest.
You can counter check my information with
Okay.
research.
Yeah.
Our time.
First, let me say this to you. Whatever the admissibility action by deviating from its main line of business, which is importation business, to storage business, violate any law. My answer is yes. How does you violate a law? You violate the revenue laws of Liberia, the Consolidated Tax Amendment. If you have it there, research it. Go to section 90 on tax evasion, read 92 and 93. It says no person in the Republic of Liberia shall be engaged in a business activity for which he or she has not obtained a license to operate. Mr. Bility, importation business, for instance, before you get importation license,
Sir, I have to protect my colleague, sir, I beg you. Maxwell, go ahead.
But if you want to research it, you want to add your ID facts. So Mr. Bility has a business registration for importation before he gets importation lesson, but he does not have business registration for storage. When you look at the economic policy of taxation, there's something we call it form and substance doctrine. The form is the means by which a business registers to operate, and the substance is the act of business activity.
Okay, Master.
For 10 years, Mr. Bility has not registered to conduct this business
Thank you. He will respond. He will respond. He will respond to it. Let me take Fred Sodom. I know this guy may have called from way there in the US, so I will take him. Fred, good morning. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Good morning, Mr. Johnson. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I see Senator Nukwe calling. I see Senator Emmanuel Nukwe calling. Senator Koga all calling. Yeah, go ahead, Fred.
Yeah, good. Yeah, thank you very much, Clarence. Good morning to Mr. Johnson, to Mr. Bility and Mr. Freeman. You know, the thing that I'm really frustrated about how LPRC went about doing. I work in the company where I work in manufacturing in America.
Right.
To think that the storage cost, which will be the revenue for investor, is passing and inspection is 6 cents.
Thank you.
It doesn't make sense. How can inspection be more than revenue for
Thank you.
investor?
Nobody sees that. And 9 cents for.
I see Councilor Fonati Kofa and everybody's calling it.
Yeah, let him call.
The person who is just coming to invest and inspect an investment to make sure that it meets the standard for business in the country is earning more than you. That is LPR to come and invest and inspect your storage and make you 6 cents.
Yeah.
You selling, you as an investment make price. How is the government coming up? That's the same thing they do with car. You go to the car like and you buy used car for 1,000. You
Right.
carry it to Liberia, they charge you penalty, they charge all the fees, and then sometimes you end up paying 5,000, which is almost 4,000 above the purchase price here, bro.
Right.
Thank you, Fred. Let me take Senator Samuel Koga. I see all the lawmakers calling. Senator Koga, go ahead.
Yeah, Clarence, good morning, and good morning to my distinguished guests in the studio there.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
Senator.
Good morning, Senator.
Yeah, I think the decision, I mean, the situation under review has to be critically looked at. The timing of the decision
Thank you.
will have political flavor.
Thank you.
In any other person's mind, they will see politically which one.
You think so?
Yes. So, while it is true that the imposition of tax lies in the hands of the legislature, and also when it comes to implementation of
Legislature is
regulations,
not a senator.
it is within the purview of the LPRC. I think she needs to halt the entire process and let everybody be called on the table, including the importers, those who have storage,
The bankers.
etc. To sit down and see the workable solution.
Okay, Koga. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Senator Koga. For the sake of courtesy, I'll reach out to Fonati Kofa and Emmanuel Nukwe. Former Speaker Emmanuel Nukwe. Senator Nukwe, good morning.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, Senator. How are you?
Nothing to say.
I'm okay, and you?
I'm good, Senator. You are following. Let's hear your side.
Yes, so I listened to Musa calling we and I
And I thought he should not have said that. I told
That's
him
a
that.
fact. Let him report the 7.5 million he took. Let him report the 7.5
Representative
million he took.
Bility, you will please allow the senator to talk. He called as my I need to protect him. Yes, Senator, go ahead.
But I need to go to the issue.
He said that he's an extortionist.
He has an agreement with LPRC, for which Amos spoke about. But if you read count 5 of that agreement, his main line of business as per that agreement is to supply input
It
supply.
doesn't mean the purpose is time.
Mm-hmm.
What the contract doesn't give, it can take away.
Indicated that he should not store product for any importer unless LPRC agrees.
And that's why he's been
Go by
going.
that
LPRC
provision
say
of
they
the
agree.
contract, his main line of business is storage. He been claiming that storage charge is for him. Storage charge is not for him. We reviewed the entire process and realized that private tank owners were taking money for services that they were not providing. LPRC,
Nice.
as the government institution responsible for the downstream sector, responsible to import, distribute, and sell petroleum products on the Liberia market through an act of the legislature, decided that look, we will incorporate all of our charges into one and call it storage charge. We are regulating all of our regulatory charges, all of our fees will be bundled and cost storage.
Senator Nukwe, because of time, I think I need to extend you that invitation. That will be fair enough.
I would love to come there. I would love to
That would be fair enough.
You must be prepared to answer the question.
Yeah, please. Just 30 seconds, then we'll let you go. Yeah. What clause? What clause? Because I will take some time on it. What clause is in violation? What provision of the agreement is in violation of what he's doing? He's in violation of what provision? That's what I'm asking.
Listen to me. The right, the exclusivity given to LPRC require them to input, they should be only input on distributor and seller petroleum products.
Okay, Senator.
They could enter into contract with other people, but that contract will have to be approved by the president.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You can trust me. I will send you an invitation soon, Senator Nupe. But he was the head of entity, Nukwe. But I will find time for you, Senator Nukwe. Thank you. Nelson Williams was the head of entity. Is there anything wrong with his signing? But I need to provide Nukwe the opportunity.
The same chance you get, you don't get for nothing.
No, I tried to call for nothing, but it looked like I'm missing. Not getting.
They're telling you not to talk to him.
We got 3 minutes. Come on, Musa. You know I'm not gonna.
First of all, Nukwe exception that I am not supposed to collect money for service that is dumb. They call it storage. Senator Nukwe, they call it storage. I stole. So you can't say I can't collect money for service I'm not providing.
You come back. I'll give you just 1 second, please. We gotta go. We got 3 minutes.
I listened to the managing director of LPRC saying that Musa had a storage and no other importers supposed to have storage without the express review or approval of the LPRC. Under the revenue and finance law, besides that, international rules,
Right.
they have rules they call commingled rules.
Correct.
They also have grouping rules.
I would have said just that. Thank you for taking it all of me.
They have just put the petroleum there, the petroleum is stored, upon taking it out, then you pay the
Finish.
government.
Thank you, Koga. Let me leave you there. Koga, I need to bring all of you, please. No time.
Very good.
They
That is another
Thank you,
teaching.
Koga.
It's a shame.
Thank you, Koga. Musa will get to you. We got like 2 minutes now.
Yes, so all I wanted to tell you is that Nukwe is contradicting the APRC. Man. The contract I have for APRC was, again, he gets on the radio and lies. That contract was a board approved contract. The board resolution is attached to the contract. You have it.
Yeah, I do.
So it's not just the managing director.
Maybe when Nukwe comes, I'll open it up.
Exactly. The second thing is that both he and the APRC managing director are reading from 2 different books. APRC say streamers, because that agreement says I can store. I don't need any permission for APRC to bring my product. But if I want to bring somebody else's product, APRC must approve it. That is exactly what I've been doing.
Freeman, let's conclude with you.
So here's the thing, Keeler, for me.
Okay.
The government have said, we did this to reduce costs for our people. We are saying, let's see the cost reduction at the pump. We are also saying there are many facts in the government. Cut those facts and the price of gasoline will even drop to $3. Also, this issue of storage, when you import the product from the ship, aren't you a storage terminal? If you build a terminal, so you buy your rice, you have a warehouse. So you have your warehouse, you import rice, you store it in your warehouse. When you don't have rice to store and somebody else has rice, you store it, then the particular issue of you storing somebody's rice is a violation of the law. Does that even make sense? You see, that's the problem. Those of us that are in politics, but in business, contribute to the development of our country. We are demonized, we are hurt, we are thrown to the dogs. In the end, the people that contribute nothing, like even the senator that called, what business has he opened in this country? What does he that adds value, that creates jobs, that pay taxes? Nothing. We are the ones that are.
He was 7.5 million in 6 years.
Senator Representative Musa Bility, thank you so much. I had Simeon, Freeman, and Musa Bility here.